introduction out with something like, dogs are a very popular pet, and I'm sure several of you have them as family pets. I related it to the audience, which is important to do. I have a dog myself, and anybody who knows me knows I am very over the top when it comes to my dog. That's my credibility statement. One sentence, it wasn't anything huge. Because of my love of dogs, today I'm going to tell you about 3 popular breeds: the Lab, Golden Retriever, and the Poodle, or Pit Bull. Not poodles, I hate poodles. Okay? Questions? I want you to look at your plan page. What do you notice about the central idea on both of them? It's what? Bolded. I don't care how you label it, but your central idea has to be labeled somehow. I don't care if you write out to the side, this is my central idea, and you draw an arrow and point to it. I don't care if it's bolded, italicized, underlined, as long as it is labeled somehow. Read the one about the promise ring. What does the central idea say? Somebody read it out loud. Crystal.
Today I'm here to tell you about the day I got this promise ring and how it forever changed my life.
Okay, so how many key points does that set that up to have?
2.
2. What are they?
How it changed her life and how she got it.
Okay, yeah, 2 key points. Her central idea is labeled, it's bolded. She does that first key point. What's it about?
The day she got
The day she got her promise ring. Okay? What do you see in between those key points?
comma, and.
No.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Who said that? A transition. There's a sentence that's underlined. What do you know about transitions?
They help move on to the next point.
Yes. How is that one worded? Alex, read it to me.
Now that I have told you about the day I got this ring, let me tell you about how it forever changed my life.
Now that I've told you about the day I got this ring, let me tell you about how it forever changed my life. Your statements, those big sentences in there, can be that blatant. You want to ensure that you get those points. Her central idea. Today I'm going to tell you about the day I got my ring and how it's so important to me, or forever changed my life. 2 key points. And then her transition. Now I've told you about this. Let me tell you about that. Some people don't like to do that. They want to be a little bit more creative. Can you do that? Yes. I would advise you, however, on the first speech to do it like this, because it just gives you a feel of when you get up here of having those transitions and being graded on the rubric. I look at all of that's why we have practice speech day. You bring it in, we look at it, we see if we need to change it at all. After you have your key points, what do you have at the end? Conclusion. What do you guys know about conclusions?
It sums it all up.
Sums it all up. Okay, so here in layman's terms is what you do in a speech. Your introduction and your central idea. You tell them what you're going to tell them. You get to your key points, you tell them. And then in your conclusion, you tell them what you just told them. You don't ever want to introduce new material in a conclusion. The conclusion is your shortest paragraph. The sample I gave you with the, which one is it? About the shoe closet is a little bit too short. A better sample of how long a conclusion should be is the one about the promise ring. This is what is not a conclusion. Yeah, I'm done. That's not a conclusion. That's all I got. That's not a conclusion. Okay? You need to have a conclusion. An introduction is 10 to 20% of your speech, and your conclusion is 5 to 10% of your speech. When you do your key points, you want to make sure, 1, that they're parallel, and 2, that they are of similar length. If you have one key point that you spend 12 seconds on, and then you have one key point you spend a minute 12 seconds on, what does that say about your key points? That was a question.
They're the same.
That what? One of the points is weak. I don't think this key point is as important as this one. If it's important enough to put in your speech, you need to make them of equal importance. Spend about the same amount of time on them. See what else we got. Okay, right here is what you guys have something very similar at the top of your plan pages. You have general purpose to inform, specific purpose to inform my audience of the 3 major races in alpine skiing. And then you are more specific, so think of it as you're narrowing it down. You have your general purpose, you're going to narrow it down a little bit to your specific purpose, and you're going to narrow it down even more and be very precise in your central idea. The central idea. The 3 major races in alpine skiing are the downhill, the slalom, I don't know how to say that. Slalom? I don't ever ski, obviously. And the giant slalom? Slalom. Slalom. What is that?
You ski with one ski.
Really?
You would know that, rich boy.
Both feet on one ski?
No,
Well,
it's when you weave.
Okay.
I mean, you can use, like, I guess when water skiing, when you slalom ski, you can ski with one, or you can ski barefoot.
Ooh, no thanks. Okay. That would be a very clear central idea. If you gave your introduction, you would have to have some sort of credibility. What could be a credibility statement in an introduction about if this was your topic? Having skied before, being an avid skier, okay? Just went skiing in Colorado last spring break. So today, I want to tell you about A, B, and C. Okay? This one is not worded with today. I want to tell you about, and that is fine. This is a very clear central idea. So you do it the way is most comfortable for you. I have just found in past experiences that most people are more comfortable starting it with, and that's how I think both of them start. Today I want to tell you about this and this. Again, I would limit it to 2 key points with the first couple of speeches, with the 1 to 2 minute speech. Okay, what questions do we have right now? When you do a plan page, you have to write it out just like this. It's not bulleted out, it's not outlined out, it has to be fully typed out like this. You notice that the central idea is labeled, you have to have that. What else is labeled somehow in there? The transitions. I want those labeled. Those are the 2 things you have to have labeled in your speech. So when you come in on speech day, you're going to be prepared with your 3-prong folder, right? Okay, you're going to have a rubric in there that I'm going to give you. And you're going to have your plan page 3-hole punched. So on our first speech, you're going to have 2 pieces of paper. Your rubric and your plan page. On practice speech day, you're going to bring that in. You also are going to be uploading it to our class website. I'm going to show you next week how to do that. On Wednesday, I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's very easy. But you cannot give a speech unless it is uploaded to the website. All right? So what you'll do, say if, who has a calendar? I don't remember what day. I know that Wednesday we're going over our speech. And I'm not sure if Friday is practice speech day, if somebody can tell me. But we're going to go over all this on Wednesday. So on practice speech day, you would bring in your folder with your plan page in it. It'll be uploaded to our website. So I will be standing back here at the computer. You will come up and bring me your folder. I will pull up your speech on the website. And I will check you off that you have done that. You're good to go to give your speech. And then I will tell you, I think you need to change your central idea, or you forgot this. Where's your credibility statement? If you make any changes in your plan page, you're simply going to go make those changes, print out a new one, and put the new one in there. So you might have 3 pages on that first day, your old one and your new one and the rubric. If I say that's perfect, you don't have to make any changes, I will sign off on it, I will initial it in the corner. So if you have to make revisions on a plan page, you keep the old one in your folder, and you'll bring the new one and you'll put it in there. And we'll go over it. So that's how practice speech day will go. Are there any questions? Yes?
The public speaking is not on our Moodle page.
It's not yet. I don't have it turned on
Okay.
because we don't have anything in there yet. when you go, when we get to our first speech, so next week, it'll show up in your Moodle. It'll say public speaking. You'll click on it and you'll see off the wall. And I'll have it up and going and I'll be able to show you next week. And then to submit your plan page, it's just like attaching a document. If you have to make minor changes, let's say that you come in and you've uploaded it to the website and you have it in your folder, and let's say you forgot your credibility statement in there, so you have to redo your plan page, which will be saved, so all you have to do is go back and add that in there. You don't have to upload a new one to the website unless you're completely redoing it. If you are just adding in a sentence or making minor changes, you do not have to resubmit it. So unless I ask you specifically to resubmit it to the website, you don't have to worry about doing that. Questions? Okay, Kirby, you can stop that.